Promoting a healthy environment. It's the air we breathe. Clean, safe water. Responsible management of our natural resources to protect and restore for a sustainable future. Environment matters.
I think one of the things is that they understand they individually can make a difference.
Making a difference one student at a time. How one West Virginia school's quest to save energy is providing students with a valuable lesson in sustainability. Hello everyone and welcome to Environment Matters. I'm Greg Adolfson with the West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection. Is your community a great place to live, work, and play? How about in 50 years? That's the mission of West Virginia's Sustainable Communities, and as the DEP's Brent Kessinger found out, the answer doesn't require a crystal ball.
The West Virginia Sustainable Communities Showcase, held recently at Stonewall Jackson Resort in Lewis County, brought community leaders and experts in sustainability together to exchange ideas and provide resources to help improve the quality of life in communities all across the state. West Virginia Sustainable Communities is a Department of Environmental Protection initiative in partnership with the Sustainability Institute at Bridgemont Community and Technical College and with support from the Claude Worthington Benedum Foundation.
As a community college, we work intently with business and industry, doing training on site and at our college, and it was just a perfect match. Community development, community is part of our name. We are a community and technical college, and another very important role and part of our mission is to educate the community and work with community development to make sure we have the right environment for the citizens that we serve.
Community leaders can get the information they need, how they can get exposure to best practices, to other folks that have been in the same boat that they've been in. I think that's why the Institute is really an important sort of sense of place to bring those kind of concerns together.
Julia Spelsberg is mayor of Weston. For her, it was an eye-opening experience.
Little communities, we've sort of been left behind. Since the 70s, we lost not quite half of our population, but probably we were 7,000 people in the 70s, now we're down to 4,000. You know, you lose your tax base, you lose people paying municipal fees, people leave. You're left with dilapidated buildings, you know, you don't have the businesses. We're never going to bring back big glass plants, big manufacturing, you know. So we have to work on things that make it a nice place to live. Really encouraging small businesses. In the first group I'm in, I'm hearing what the specialty of each person is, and I said, you all have to give me your cards because there's so many aspects of life in Weston that we could use, you know, their expertise.
West Virginia Sustainable Communities is committed to increasing sustainability principles all across the state and to help communities like Weston become more environmentally, economically, and socially sustainable.
This is a way communities can look at themselves as they are, look at themselves in the future, and leaders have vehicles like the Sustainability Institute and the partnerships that are established there, like with the DEP and the other public entities. All that could come together in a really healthy way to work with communities, which is essentially all of our efforts has to come to healthy West Virginia communities.
Improving the quality of life in West Virginia, one community at a time. In Lewis County, I'm Brent Kessinger for Environment Matters.
You can check out the latest news from West Virginia's Sustainable Communities by visiting our website, dep.wv.gov. It's never too early to learn the decisions we make as consumers have an impact on our environment, and that's the thinking behind the West Virginia Sustainable Schools program. The program recognizes schools that show a commitment to sustainable practices in the facilities as well as integrate those practices into the community. Last year, 2 West Virginia Sustainable Schools, Hilltop Elementary School in Marshall County and the Wyoming Career and Technical Center in Pineville, were recognized nationally, winning Green Ribbon School Awards from the U.S. Department of Education. The awards were based on the 2 schools' excellence in environmental impact, energy efficiency, healthy school environment, and environmental and sustainability education.
We have a responsibility as educators in the state of West Virginia to offer an environment to our students that is the most conducive to learning. And we do that in several ways. And by being sustainable and offering sustainable practices allows the opportunity for students to learn in an environment that is more healthy, is more protected, we're able to return to our environment things that otherwise in the past we have not been able to do.
The State Department of Education is offering technical assistance workshops to help schools apply for the West Virginia Sustainable Schools Award program. Up to 4 of those schools will be nominated for the Green Ribbon Schools program. Applications are due January the 11th. One of those schools hoping to make the cut is Hometown Elementary in Putnam County. And as the DEP's Tom Aloise found out, it's an effort that's been years in the making.
Built in 1978, Hometown Elementary School wasn't designed for maximum energy efficiency, but that hasn't stopped the school from becoming the most energy efficient school in the county 2 years in a row.
We are very open with the students in terms of what it is that we're trying to accomplish to make a less of a footprint on the earth. And they're aware of that. They're aware of that terminology.
It's a lot of little things like turning off unnecessary lights and unused equipment and reducing the heat in unoccupied rooms. But it all adds up.
And we try to teach our kids not to waste. You know, when they go through this salad bar, we always tell them to, you know, take what you eat and eat what you take. You know, that's our motto.
I think one of the things is that they understand they individually can make a difference. I think that's the biggest thing, and the reason why that's important is because if we could do that as a tiny little school, you know, a tiny school, to everybody be aware of that, that will catch on.
And if you're wondering if these lessons are catching on, just ask these second graders.
Sometimes when I save power from my room, when I leave, I turn on my TV and my lights off. When I go up to my Nini's, she has a bunch of pop, and I drink a lot of them, and she has cans, and whenever we drink a whole can, we put it in the recycling bin. I turn out the lights, turn off the TV, and help my mom to help me turn off all the lights for my sisters in her bedroom or somewhere when she's asleep.
Students at Hometown are learning more than just reading and math. They're learning to be good citizens who understand their role and their responsibility to the community they live in.
There's an excitement and enthusiasm about trying to, you know, make a difference in terms of what we do on the individual level.
And by turning off a few lights, these teachers hope to turn students on to a lifelong commitment to sustainability. In Putnam County, I'm Tom Aloise for Environment Matters.
Winners of this year's West Virginia Sustainable Schools Award will be announced February 15th. Cooking wild ramps is a longtime culinary tradition in Appalachia, and now one local business in Huntington, by the same name, hopes to have the same kind of staying power. The DEP's Mike Huff has the details.
When we first visited the wild ramp this past spring, it was an empty storefront and a big dream.
We're building up a core of producers who are interested in branching out and expanding their production, and we are going to give them opportunities to sell their products to restaurants and local businesses.
That was then. This is now.
We expected it to be a good response, but not like this. We're very, very surprised and very pleased.
Jobs and the opportunity for local food producers to market their products to a wider customer base is the force behind Tri-State Local Foods and the Wild Ramp. The group was awarded a $5,000 mini grant from the West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection for technical assistance to support a Buy Local campaign that connected local producers with consumers. More than a traditional farmer's market, the Wild Ramp operates year-round.
We have already have producers who are planning to do high tunnels and low road covers and those sorts of things in order to extend the season For produce, we obviously will have our meat and our eggs and our ice cream and our tofu and veggie burgers and all those things throughout the winter, honey, maple syrup, all those good things. But we're also planning to have produce year-round.
Located in the lower level of Huntington's historic heritage station, the Wild Ramp has become a popular downtown destination for serious foodies.
Well, I was really excited when the Wild Ramp opened up because once you've had fresh eggs, that was what got me here. Fresh eggs are worth any trip. And then the local produce, just the variety and learning to eat seasonally, it's just made a huge difference in how I eat. And knowing there's fresh meat too, that's really fantastic.
Community involvement has been the driving force behind the success of the Wild Ramp.
They've just been wonderful, very much so in every way, not only in buying things, but in volunteering and helping us get things done. We have volunteers who come and volunteer at the store. We have volunteers who stay home and do work from home, marketing type work, or surveys, helping us with grant proposals, all those kinds of things. So we have a really great team. We had a huge support for our Kickstarter campaign. We raised $11,700 in 30 days, so that was huge.
Gail says the Wild Ramp also allows consumers to develop a relationship with the farmers and artisans who supply the market, something customers we talk to appreciate.
I think it's nice to see their hard work finding an audience, that there's a payoff to be a responsible farmer and to raise healthy cattle and use responsible and sustainable means. I think it's nice that we can finally give back to the people who make that commitment. And it's a nice way to trade off, so we all win.
In Huntington, I'm Mike Huff for Environment Matters.
The Wild Ramp is open Thursday and Friday from 11 a.m. until 7 p.m. and on Saturday from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. 2 West Virginia sustainability success stories were highlighted recently on an international stage. Dr. Ed Crow from West Virginia University presented the paper at the World Energy Engineering Congress on West Virginia's Sustainable Communities Initiative and the West Virginia E3 Economy, Energy, and the Environment program. You may remember those programs from our earlier stories featuring Sustainable Williamson and the E3 program's energy audit of the Gilmer County Courthouse. Dr. Crow's presentation highlighted the synergy of the 2 programs and how these initiatives are designed to help local governments and industries thrive in a new era focused on sustainability and promote sustainable government, manufacturing, and economic growth throughout West Virginia. Coming up, some simple things you can do to save energy and money this winter. But first, if you drink coffee for an afternoon pick-me-up, invest in your own cup. It not only cuts down on waste, it keeps your drink warmer much longer. Most coffee shops are happy to fill your own cup, and many even offer a discount in exchange. We're back in a moment.